Hello everybody, Jet here, and welcome back to my Bloody Hands campaign, where me and my War are attacking the, are trying to finish off the dwarves anyway. So, I need to set up something in this region. I'm probably going to get a rebellion here relatively quickly. Let's continue to upgrade my walls. Well, no, I do want to be a bit careful actually. Some little skint on cash. Okay, let's hold. So I'm losing a few territories at the moment, which is a little worrying. Because as you can see, I've been losing my territories over in the mountains over here, guys, if you've been watching. And I've lost a few territories over here. One of the territories over here, I can't remember which one, was a really high income settlement. Had some sort of mine which was giving me 1,000 gold per turn. So I do need to try and get that one back. But it's tricky. Ooh! So the Silver Host are expanding. That's a vampire faction. I'm still at war with Barakvar. I could potentially get a peace with them, but at the moment I don't want to do that. I would potentially accept a peace with the actual dwarves, just to get myself back on track, you know, just so I can reconsolidate my territory. But again, that's a tricky one, because if I leave them for too long, I'm going to start they're going to start building up again, which will cause more issues, guys. So it's a tricky one here with what I want to do and how I want to do it. So let me know. Oh, I've had a couple of comments about my sound and my volumes, guys. So if it's not quite right, if the game sound is too quiet or my voice is too loud, please let me know. Because I've had a little listen, it sounds fine to me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's actually fine. Okay, let's send Grimgor to Venkia Hills. Okay, we're going to siege there. I'm using Grimgor as my main guy at the moment, simply because I want to get him running a war as well. Okay, comes a nice easy auto. Sack that. 13k is not to be sniffed at. Plus, I think I get a lot more stuff for sacking places. And let's loot and occupy. So we just completely devastated this region's public order. Oops. But never mind. Okay. So we've got a little bit of extra cash to spend now. Throw around the place now. Now you can start leveling up a little bit. Not building anything over there because that place is not going to last long. So I'm getting 1,000 gold from here in Black Crag. I do want to try and recapture some of these other places, but see, I could potentially offer a peace treaty with these. No, they're not going to accept it. Okay, so Grimgor has leveled up. We have been going down the Chopper's route, because that really ups his weapon damage, which is getting quite high, you can see there. So 630. Yeah. So he is becoming a very powerful melee lord, which is good. This is my little gobbo big boss in here. Okay. Now I do want to be a little careful with these dwarf armies, because they are, you know, they do have a couple of dwarf armies there, and they are powerful armies, so I want to be a bit careful of them. I do want to try and trap them, but at the same time I don't want to lose too much by doing it. Now the question is now, guys, do I hit Venkia Hills or do I push at the Dwarven capital? The issue is by pushing at the Dwarven capital, I will be leaving people behind me. I don't like fighting battles like wars like this, because I'm having to be reactionary, which isn't good. you know, I'm not being able to consolidate too much. I'm having to react to what's happening to me rather than, rather than deal with things. I want attacking the capital would potentially cause them to bring them back. It would, if I sack it, give me a lot of cash. But at the same time, it does leave them open and behind me where they can start, they can continue to push aggressively. It's a high-risk tactic, basically. Oh, that's nice.
Your endless victories are changing the very fates themselves.
So I just got an extra 10k from completing a mission there.
Your incredible power.
The other question is, can I actually take that with all my armies and my war?
Ready for murdering. Yeah.
Well, we're going to find out, guys.
Corpse fist. Get going.
Now they might well hit somewhere here, but if they're sensible, they will turn around.
To live, Orc.
Okay, I'm gonna take a peace treaty with them for the time being, just to allow myself a little bit of breathing space. I bet these guys might even know. Okay. I need extra buildings. I need to get a goblin workshop now, guys. Get heavy clubs. If I don't have them, that is something I'm going to be pushing for soon. Okay, let's level up here. Let's get that gobbo workshop. I'm not building anything there. And end turn, guys. Probably going to get a couple of rebellions now, so it's something I need to be aware of. Oh, I did get a rebellion. My war dealt with it. So that's not a bad thing. Okay, so dwarfs are... I'm benefiting more by taking their capital than they are by taking their... If I take their capital, and they've not even cracked it, they've just hit it, and they are starting to pull back now. They do still have 3 big armies around me, so I'm not necessarily safe, guys. And taking Karaz or Karaz-a-Karak, or whichever way the bloody place is, I don't really care. I'm an orc, I don't care. Is gonna be interesting now. This is where I'm going to have fun at some point, guys, because at some point I am going to play a dwarf campaign, and the dwarfs are fun, because what I generally actually do is I generally ignore the greenskins to start with, and I consolidate my own faction, and especially now, you need to deal with the vampires quite early, I do believe, and by leaving the greenskins to survive a bit, you get to have a nice big fun war with them later on. The other faction I might play is, when I play the dwarves, is Karaz-a-Karak. I forget the name of their clan, but they are very fun because you want to try and take Karak Peaks. Now I do know somebody's making a mod where they become a horde, which does sound very interesting and might be something I will look at pushing at some point. I have an imminent rebellion. I'm not that fussed about it at the moment.
This better involve fighting.
That's a hell of a garrison.
What? 16. Yeah, violence.
Okay, let's wait for my war. Let's rebuild here, though it's probably going to get knocked over by the dwarfs again next turn, and end turn. Now I'm going to have a rebellion, at least somewhere. And if I'm going to take here, I'm going to sack here, then I'm going to capture it, guys, is the plan. And then we're going to try and burn through the mountains a little bit. And then we can always come back and reconsolidate afterwards. those gits! That was not sensible of them. Actually burning that settlement was really not good, especially for the dwarves. They want to be capturing places, but then again, I can see the vampires have cut into at least part of their territory in Karak-a-Karak so the dwarfs might be suffering up north as well, so I might be able to, you know, so long as I can hold out, I might have put the, you know, by doing the damage I've been doing to them and keeping them distracted, I might well have put the death blows to them. But I do need to get myself into a better position, and soon we're going to just start raiding down here against the other dwarf factions. Once we've dealt with the dwarfs themselves, assuming we don't mess up, you know, I will get myself into a far better position.
Much more.
Okay, I'll have an aggression pack. I don't even know where you are. Yeah, the Skaven are doing powerfully around here. I kind of wish the Skaven would be a bit more aggressive against the humans in Telia. And I suspect all these bits here are... So we've got a rebellion in the Bloody River. It's another orc faction, so I'm not that fussed if they take there.
Wurrzag, the great green prophet.
Can I afford to wait another turn?
Kill him.
No. Okay guys, we're doing a cheeky save here, because if this all goes wrong, I don't like fighting battles like this. So this is a huge siege. Now, we are not in a good, you know, we are fighting this without siege equipment, which is a bad idea, but I don't want to wait the turn. So here goes nothing, guys. This is going to be a battle of epic proportions. Now this is going to be different to start with. I'm not going to be, you know, hammering down the gates. I'm going to be using my siege equipment to knock holes straight through their walls. Though I say that, these, I forget what they're called, these cannons might well force me to attack quickly actually, so, we'll see how it goes. But if I focus fire a chunk of their wall, I can probably crack their wall. So, but no, they've got... These iron breakers are what scare me. Iron breakers are deadly. They are possibly one of the most deadly units in the game. They are hugely armoured, have a huge defence, and they throw explosives at you as you approach them, guys. So as you approach, they throw explosives and you go pop. I thought with a line of iron breakers will win most battles. I have, you know, as the dwarves, I have held off humongous armies with iron breakers. So yeah. Okay, so we've got some monstrous units. They are going to be going for the gates. We're gonna start these guys here, and they're going to knock a hole straight through here. We've got a Doom Diver catapult as well. So my monstrous brigade is going to go and smash down this gate. So I'm just trying to reorganise everything into a bit more less of a mess. This is quite confusing. I've got a lot of things here, which does make it a little tricky. So Goblin Wolf Riders, they're up with my cav. Okay, these guys will be my breachers to go through this hole. Grimgor can go through the gate. Some of these guys can actually go up the walls, but we'll work that out as we're doing it.
Ready, boss.
Okay. And pause while we put all of my RT. Can I not attack the walls? Oh my god, their walls are indestructible. In which case, monstrous units, charge! In which case, we're doing a massive charge on the walls. Cavalry wing can move down. I had not realised their walls would be indestructible. I love Doom Divers. So these guys aim themselves. This is little goblins who you throw. And there you go, you can watch him flying through the air. And he will home in on the targets he's hitting. Shredding them. Okay, we're hammering on that gate nicely. And we're hitting their walls all over. Now you'll watch this. This gate breaks. The explosions will be massive. He says. Okay, so here goes. And my giant's wandering in. My guys are hitting the walls all over. Some of these guys can actually come in through the gates instead. And my cav can certainly all charge through. Oh, I forgot some of these guys. You guys can all charge through as well. Right, my Doom Divers can start hitting these if they can get in range. These guys can all start charging down the walls into these guys. Grimgor can keep hammering that unit. We're doing nicely here, guys, actually, so far. Now, these guys are, however, doing a lot of damage to me, but they are thankfully focusing on other things. My archers are actually doing quite nicely too. No, I don't want you attacking those iron breakers. Not on your own. You can start pushing down the walls. You guys... Oh, no, I don't want you guys to try and break through just yet. I want to win this battle here first. That's perfect. All of my guys are in range. We'll hit the flame cannons first, actually. We are clearing these walls nicely now. You can hammer up into them. See, all these explosions, these are iron breakers throwing things. And they are devastating when they do it. So we've got hammerers and iron breakers. These guys are the iron breakers. And there you go. It's devastating when they do that. However, they're not being too effective at the moment, thankfully. Okay, some of my Black Orcs can start dropping down around the back. I'm going to detach some of these guys. And some of my Cav. You can stay there. Some of my Cav is being detached to go and deal with this to try and deal with their artillery. So those flame cannons are painful, as you can see. No, you do not want a frontal assault with those iron breakers, guys.
Choppers ready.
Okay, we are beginning to take a lot of damage on some of our units, so that's something I do need to be aware of. Get out of there, get out of there. You don't want to be fighting those iron breaks on your own. You can break down and start hitting these. So you guys can all start breaking off this wall and attacking. And in fact, we're cracking them here, so let's really start pushing. And you guys can all charge these iron breakers. And you guys can all just push now. Let's hit these guys with them, with my RT. We're engaging the cav with them now, which is good. And these iron breakers are getting a bit split, but so are my guys. My guys seem to be struggling to move. There's too many of them, they're blocking each other. This is good, we're breaking these guys as well now, which is nice. So we've silenced their artillery, at least. Ow! He says. My archer wing can hit there, and we've got the mass rout on, guys. So this is a victory. And whatever the bloody name of this place is mine. Da dwarf mine is the mine. Is mine. So we've smashed the dwarfs here. Sindri Iron Pick has failed dwarfdom in general, and I have just taken the dwarven capital to do what I want with. This is going to get a swift shaft. Ooh. Do I want to sack it, the cash, or do I just want to capture it? Because if I capture it, I don't have to upgrade it afterwards. Which does make a tricky choice here. And I appear to be freezing. No, 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 don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You're not seeing it. Oh, thank God. I had her not responding then, guys, so I was a little worried. 30. So it's going to get sacked, and then we're going to move back in and take it.
Keep going.
Ooh, wrong button. And now we're going to occupy it. That, even damaged, has sorted my income.
Why is there onward? Cork and Mork are coming.
Let's hit here quickly.
Crush them. Killing time. Let's smash them good.
I think I'm potentially going to get another. Right, let's
Wurrzag will do it.
double time it back.
Crush. Ready for murdering. Let's take what's
Okay, guys, so that was awesome. And we now hold the Dwarven capital, so that's a very, very strong ability. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still need a few more. We can buff up Brainbuster. Oh, makes it do more armor piercing. Anything which makes it do more armor piercing is good. Let's up my Goblin Big Boss. He doesn't have the most HP, so I might buff up his No, we will do that later, but not now. Okay. Walls. And I can recruit. I can use a Savage Orc recruitment place here, landmark here. However, I'm not going to do that just at the moment. Oh god, we don't straight up don't have that. And end turn, so we have Karaz-a-Karak. This needs a rename. How do I spell Wurrzag again? Wurrzag.
This better involve fighting.
Wurrzag's Karak. Because dwarven things all seem to be called Karak something. Or, you know, so Karag. You know, Karak 8 Pete. So it's now Wurrzag's Karak, which is the dwarven capital, which now belongs to me. Okay, guys, so let's see what the dwarves try and do about this. So this is hugely beneficial to me, guys, 'cause that's another really big solid settlement I've got there. Now, I am potentially going to lose Wurrzag's Beach to another small orc faction. However, that's not the end of the world. Once I build up Wurrzag's Karak, I can then get it into a very strong position again. I'm a little surprised the dwarves didn't want to sue for peace at that point, because it would have been quite sensible for them to sue for peace at that point, because that is a huge loss for them. However, I want to consolidate, so the question is, do I keep pushing in or do I turn back? It's a very tricky proposition actually now with which way I want to go. Do I want to turn around and take the places back I've just lost? Or do I want to keep pushing into the dwarven territories, guys? Because I am leaving 2 roving dwarven armies behind me. Which is a dangerous prospect. However, I am building up, so I'm going to be upping my income quite well. So we might well be able to get myself another army going relatively quickly as well. Let's have a look, see where we are next time. Next turn even. Okay, we're losing here. That was a nice amount of cash from taking there. And we have another war. I could go round here and come back.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to do that. So Grimgor is going to stay there while Wurrzag clears around. That is quite a nice boost to our income as well. That is a big enough boost that we can afford to start pushing out another army. So let's get Skarsnik back.
You need me?
No, we can't quite afford that at the moment. I'm sure that was higher a second ago. Okay, we are potentially going to be losing some of these places, but we can deal with that when we deal with that. What can we actually recruit here? I'm just going to replace some of my archers with normal archers to make them cheaper. Or Night Gobbo archers, they are quite good. So they do less damage if they do poison, so having a mix is probably good. And then he can recruit some stuff. We'll just start on a fairly basic army for now. He gets benefits to Night Gobbo, so actually we're going to start throwing out a goblin army with him. And are the fanatics his troops? Special troops to him? Spinning loons, they all get a vortex which they throw at people. And they have more weapon strength, but also he gets buffs to all of his gobbos, and I've got things so I can buff up his goblins quite a lot. So I might just build, so I'm going to build a goblin army around him, which also makes it a cheaper army to use. Okay guys, and actually, oh, that Great Green Prophet has leveled up again. So let's have a look through our spells. Here we go. That's a good one. Okay guys, we are going to be stopping this one here. And until next time guys, when we're going to work out, I might try and move, because now I've got a war with Grimgor. I might well push back and try and deal with these armies here while I push.
Do not sully, man.
Some point we'll probably be able to get a peace treaty with them, but I'd like to try and do a lot of damage first. Now, I know potentially the dwarves do have some good powerful armies up here, because they have confederated with some people. No, so the plan is Wurrzag is going to clear around and head for Karak Dawn after Squighorn, and then we'll push back out. And then, he's probably going to stay here, but I'm probably going to move forwards just to threaten action. I do have another army here. Because if I'm threatening action, I'm going to be stopping them doing too much. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching.